Episode 3 of the Sideline Views podcast is presented by GuyBostonSports. For day-to-day coverage on the Bruins, Pats, Sox, and Celts, along with other podcasts like these, visit GuyBostonSports.com. Per usual, I'm joined by my guy, Hakeem. Hakeem, what's up?
Hey, how we doing, fellas?
All good, all good. Well, not to toot my own horn, but my prediction was right. Isaiah Thomas did sign this week. Unfortunately, not with the team that I hoped for, but pretty good opportunity as is. Also, the Brink trucks weren't backed up. It was more like a Honda Civic. So, let's get into it. Isaiah Thomas, 1-year deal, $2 million with the Denver Nuggets. Thoughts?
I personally don't know what he was doing. I understand he's trying to build his, trying to build back up his reputation he had in the league. He was known as a scorer. He was known as, someone who you can rely on in a late game situation. But recently he's been anything but that, especially at the Lakers. So it's been a lackluster year for him. So I could tell he's trying to rebuild his career by going to Denver. But why Denver? Just because you can do whatever you want, $2 million for 1 year? Is that really worth it? Do you think Isaiah Thomas kids want to go out to Denver? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Orlando was honestly a better fit for him. Mm-hmm. I get the whole 1 year, $2 million. That 1 year, regardless of what you're getting, it doesn't matter. It's not your payday. I think Denver could work. It's not a big market team, so it's you're not getting the the media attention he was getting in Cleveland or Los Angeles. So a lot of that pressure is off his shoulders, I feel. But I'm very confident he's gonna put up a comeback year. I actually wrote a piece, and I was wrong, unfortunately, as I am several times. Because he left like an Instagram comment about I would sign a 1 year deal with Boston. And it's weird because today, we live in the generation where we have to take these social media things into consideration. Like a few years back when LeBron unfollowed the Cavs on Twitter, it became a big story. You had the thing with Isaiah Thomas as a Celtic 2 off seasons ago when he followed Blake Griffin, and that became a big story. So anything that happens, it's weird how, and it's for every sport. I feel it's weird that we're on top of everything in social media and what athletes do, and it becomes a story. I don't know. That's just how I feel. It's kind of weird.
I agree, but we're forgetting that Isaiah Thomas did have a fight with Jamal Murray. Now he has to go back and he has to play with this guy, to work together with this guy, and we don't even know if the man will be starting.
Yeah, I mean, in sports in the NBA, you can squash beefs as is. I don't feel it's going to be a big issue. But back to my prediction, how I thought it could have worked on the Celtics. Because this whole Marcus Smart, let's get into that for a minute. The whole Marcus Smart situation is just weird. 100%. It's just weird.
100%.
Do you know what I found kind of weird? Do you know the name of his agent?
No, I don't.
This is not a lie. The actual name of Marcus Smart's agent is Happy Walters. Can you take that name seriously?
No, definitely not.
Happy Walters. Danny Ainge, your 3 o'clock is here. Oh, what's up, Danny? It's me, Happy. Happy Walters.
Yeah, you have to talk to Happy Walters to prevent him from going to the Nets.
Well, he's not going to leave Marcus happy.
Definitely not.
I don't know. It's weird because I feel like he's a guy that... imagine last year if Philly had Marcus Smart. How much of a difference maker he'd be in the Boston series.
Oh, it would have been crazy.
Who's the tough guy in Philly aside from Embiid? Who's the tough guy?
You don't have anyone. You saw Ben Simmons get smacked by
Benny 1 point? Yeah, I'm terrified. Stop it. Come on now. I don't know, because you have these talks about Sacramento, now the Nets are getting in it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is the Nets' way of getting back at Boston for completely playing them like a fiddle. Yep. The Nets have been essentially Boston's G League affiliate team, producing all our young talent. That's essentially what the Nets have become.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't get it because I feel like the top contending teams, should be making a push for Marcus. Imagine Houston, because Houston lost Ariza.
Mm-hmm.
So why isn't Houston making a push?
Well, I think Houston isn't making a push because they're trying to clear as much money as they can to be able to sign Carmelo Anthony. Because you know how Capella wanted 4 years, 100 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
They only offered Capella 4 years, 80 million. So that's 20 million less.
But I don't feel Smart will cost a lot. And these whole reports about the Sacramento Kings, offering the 13 mil, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If he got that offer, he'd take that in a heartbeat.
So you don't think he got it?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, but maybe he wants to stay in Boston.
No, I get that, and I'm slightly worried that he has that feeling, and the organization hasn't necessarily, from what we've seen, made him a big priority this offseason.
Oh, definitely.
Because he's a guy you need.
Mm-hmm.
As much of a headache as he is on the offensive end, his defense, you can't question that.
More than makes up for it.
The guy makes winning plays.
He's a tough worker.
I think. Oh, another report. Did you hear about the Kyle Korver rumors?
Oh, what about him?
About Boston trying to make a push at a Kyle Korver trade?
I mean, it's possible because Cleveland wants to dump it on someone else.
It got me thinking, connected with the Smart thing. If you lose out on Marcus Smart and you want yourself a shooter, why don't you go out and get Jamal Crawford?
Jamal Crawford, really?
Aren't you getting, those two, Marcus Smart and Kyle Korver, essentially combined? You're getting a good defender and a good shooter.
It's true, because Jamal Crawford, he can do a little bit of everything.
Off the second unit, that'd be dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Great one-on-one player.
That would be dangerous.
He's a little streaky, but he's more than worth it.
Oh, one of the most underrated ball handlers of our generation.
It'd be like us getting Lou Williams.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's the whole Marcus Smart situation is just weird that he's still sitting there right now. I think ultimately Boston will strike a deal and he'll stay.
He should go with Boston because I can't really see too many teams being like, "Hey, I want Marcus Smart, but I'm willing to deal with all the bullshit that's going to happen with him."
Yeah, he's not. I don't. My gosh, it's weird because he'll take so many bad shots, but yet at times he'll hit some really big ones.
You will, but it's
So Marcus Smart is like bitter chocolate, bittersweet. That's really what he is.
Like 100% dark chocolate.
He's sweet with the defense, and then he's so bitter when you put the ball in his hands and he's standing outside from three.
Oh
remember how aggravated a few years back Celtics fans, including myself, would get when Jared Sullinger would shoot a three?
Oh, yeah, because he wouldn't rebound either.
Yeah, and he shot 28% from three. Gee, oh my goodness! I just look back at I just look back at that Laker attempt at a game winner.
Who are you talking about?
Marcus Smart.
Wait, what did you just say?
Remember he tried the game-winning shot, the final shot he tried to shoot in L.A.
Oh my
and then
God!
And then he punched the wall or whatever.
Yep.
Messed up his hand.
Yep. That was awful.
You think about that, but then you think about the Houston play, how he got Harden to draw those few fouls to win the game, in that 20-something point comeback or whatever it was.
Yeah, but we don't remember him for what he does well. We always remember him for the simple mistakes he does.
Yeah, but then he just finds a way to make it up to you.
The Lakers one was real bad.
He's like your girlfriend that keeps messing up, but she always finds a way to make it up at the end.
She always finds a way to make it up, but you're better off without her. But I don't think that's the case for Boston.
No, I feel like a finals run, you need that guy with you.
Yeah, you'd rather have him with you than to play against him.
The thing that I liked about him, even though he shot 1 for 10 or 2 for 10 or whatever in that Game 7 against Cleveland, the final seconds he was still playing defense.
Oh yeah, he never gives up.
He was still on LeBron, and it's dude, the season's over, and yet he's not stopping. I love that.
He doesn't want to lose. He's a winner.
No, he's a roughhouser. You need him.
Yeah, but when you think about how he could hit a three, to get anybody energized, because it's not like he's offensively just a disaster. That's not really it. It's not like he's just that bad. He's skilled. He's very skilled offensively. But
He's
his IQ when it comes, to the offensive game, it's just awful. It's awful.
he is. It is. But you think about you're gonna have Hayward back next year, Tatum, Brown. You have offensive weapons are gonna be the least of Boston's problems next year.
But do you think Marcus Smart will be okay with that?
I mean, he knows it. He has to know it. He wasn't even without Kyrie and Gordon on the floor. He wasn't, the go-to guy offensively.
I know, but
Horford, Tatum, Brown, Rozier.
he still took his
And
shots.
then but I feel like with Kyrie and Hayward on the floor, I feel like it'll be a difference maker. And you need that guy in a playoff run. So I do think they're gonna come back to sign a deal.
They have to sign him.
No, they're going to. I guarantee it. But back to the Isaiah Thomas thing, and something that's really, really, really been bugging me is the media response to it and how they're making like a mockery of his like back up the brink trucks comment.
I didn't like the comment. You remember me. You told me about it. I saw it as well. And we had a conversation about it. I disagreed with what he said. I don't think he should have said it. But then again,
I don't think it's a bad. I mean,
yeah.
He wasn't. Everybody knew he wasn't going to get the big time money from Boston.
Definitely not.
But we can go down the list of bad contracts that have taken place in the NBA. Guys who have undeservingly made big time money. Let's start off with a guy who used to be here, Evan Turner. What do you get? $70 million from Portland?
70, 75, around that range.
70, 75. Kelly Olynyk, 50.
Yep. And we know Kelly.
Timofey Mozgov, 66 plus.
Yeah, Mozgov.
Joakim Noah, where was he? Where was Joakim Noah for the past 20 years or so?
He's still making money. He hasn't played.
Didn't he get 90 plus from New York?
Yeah, he hasn't played. He hasn't played in a game.
Timothy Hardaway Jr.? Come on. 71 plus. Zach LaVine, 78 plus.
I don't know what to say about the Hardaway one. I'm a Hardaway fan.
Yeah, but he doesn't deserve that money.
I think it's about his potential, not what he can do, at this moment in time.
Yeah, but you got to pay him for what he does and what he's done. Just like you got to pay Thomas. So he played 32 games last year.
Yep.
He was in a pretty odd situation in Cleveland, and I said it from the beginning. A bunch of people. That's the thing that everyone said with the Kyrie trade. It's a steal. It's a steal. It's a steal. Boston gave up too much. No, we didn't. Ante Zizic, where is he? Jay Crowder, he was a product of the Brad Stevens system. Everybody knows that. He's in Utah. Haven't heard from him since. What else? The Brooklyn pick. I think Colin Sexton's going to be a good player, but we have Kyrie, so I'm cool. Isaiah Thomas. It wasn't a good situation for him in Cleveland at all.
That's right.
You got LeBron. You got K-Love. You got Tristan Thompson. You got Kyle Korver. It's just an odd because Isaiah Thomas in Boston. He's obviously not a pass first point guard.
Yep.
And you can say, well, neither was Kyrie. But Kyrie's much more versatile in getting himself better looks than Isaiah Thomas is.
And
he's going to get higher
defense.
quality shots. That's true. Yeah, he can play defense. It was just a weird situation. You can see him coming up and down the floor. It was like he was playing rec ball. Did you ever see it, like him just jogging up the floor? It was, how players just jog nonchalantly in the All-Star game.
Just looked like he didn't want to be there.
He just had his fists up and he's like, "All right, now back to the defensive end." Oh wait, I don't play defense, but anyway, yeah. And then the LA situation was just a forced situation.
100%.
It's no expectations. You're playing in La La Land with. It was at that point that's like you can't build up your value any higher. You can't really do anything here in LA to prove yourself.
Yeah, if anything, Cleveland destroyed his reputation. The Lakers definitely didn't really help. It showed he could still score, but other than that, nothing much.
No. Which is why I genuinely thought a one-year deal was possible with Boston.
He wouldn't get any.
He's an improvement from Terry Rozier. I saw a lot of. I'm about to just flip everything over. everyone who's out there saying Terry Rozier is better than Isaiah Thomas because he's taller than him, that's the most idiotic statement I've ever heard. Most idiotic. Oh, no. I'll give the most idiotic statement I've heard since Jay Crowder's the next Jimmy Butler. Jesus Christ, Celtics fans, get it together. Get it together. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll tell you. Terry Rozier is a starting point guard in basketball. He's starting point guard worthy.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Thomas, you can't say he's better than Isaiah Thomas.
That's true. Definitely can't. Terry Rozier is, man, yeah, IQ is just not there sometimes. He's making a great play.
No.
And the next place, that's when you'll say this guy has no idea what he's doing. He'll get pulled. You'll see it. Happens all the time. At least once or twice a game.
But the thing I thought that would have been interesting was if you brought Isaiah Thomas for a year, had you lost Marcus Smart. He'd be playing in a contract year. Obviously, he's not going to be here right after.
Mm-hmm.
The only coach who's ever gotten the best out of Isaiah Thomas is Brad Stevens. You put him at the 2 guard with Kyrie, you're going to get him a lot of open looks from 3. What was one of Boston? What's something that Boston's needed for a while?
But do you really think Isaiah
shooting.
Thomas would start if he came back?
Would he start?
Yeah, do you really think he would?
I think he could start at the 2 guard. I mean, what's their starting lineup right now projected to be? Horford, Hayward, Tatum, Brown, Kyrie?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like, you can still put Tatum off the bench, and you can still get him like starter minutes. It's not like starting, means you're downgraded. You know what I mean?
True, but then again, that means you're hurting someone's time. And in this case, it would have to be Terry Rozier. Now, are you willing to impede Terry Rozier's growth?
The way I see it, his value is at its highest.
Whose?
Like, how high is Terry Rozier's value gonna get? Honestly.
Yeah, but his value is at its
Because
highest.
think about it. In order for him to have had the value, have the value at what it is right now, he needed to start in big game situations. Is Terry Rozier going to be your go-to guy, your premier scorer next season in any of those situations? No.
You don't know how high his ceiling is, honestly.
No, I think he's good, but
Do you think he's
It's
all-star
just-
good? That's the question.
no.
You don't think he'll
All-star.
ever be an all-star this season?
I mean, if they brought the East versus West back. I mean, I don't like. The thing that bugs me the most was how he played on the road. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it at home, and that was the big thing that bugged me with the NBA playoffs in general. Was like the road guys would just completely take games off, and then it's like, all right, we'll do it back at home.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You saw that. You
Oh,
saw
yeah,
that in
that's
Rozier probably more than any other Celtics player. It's like, dude, you went from like 0 turnovers in games 1 and 2 to like 8 in game 3.
Like he was scared of the crowd.
I don't get it. I honestly don't get that. Why that was such a thing in the NBA playoffs last year.
We're talking about premier players playing bad on the road, but they've been doing this their whole career.
If you're gonna do that, then Adam Silver should just go, you know what? Let's make rounds 1 and 2 just, best of 3. Honestly. Just make it a best of 3. Just speed things up. Speed things up. I can't. Don't make me sit and watch games 1 and 2 go, oh my gosh, Celtics. They're doing this against Cleveland, 20-point blowouts? Wow. And then you give me that crap for games, 3, 4, and 6?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Don't put me through that. I deserve better.
I
deserve better. I'm a Celtics fan who had to watch Gerald Wallace and Chris Humphries for a few
You
years.
should definitely not be seeing a blowout in a playoff game between the best of the best. In the
It's just so. Oh my! Honestly, what's the point of me watching?
It's really not supposed to happen.
Just make it a best of 3 at that point. Jesus Christ. But anyways, I don't like the whole. Like I said, you may have not agreed with the comment, but I don't think he deserves the backlash that he's getting.
No, definitely not. They're acting like he did something.
The whole
like,
mockery.
yeah.
Oh, ha, you got $2 million.
Like he wasn't a Celtic, you know. Just
Do you understand what he brought you Al Horford, who B played a big part in bringing you Gordon Hayward, and oh yeah, you don't get Kyrie if you don't have Isaiah.
Exactly.
So I just don't like that. Don't act like he didn't do anything for you. We're not talking about Avery Bradley. We're not talking about Jay Crowder. I don't get it. Avery Bradley he's going to get a better home welcoming than Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, 100%. I think there's an animosity between Boston fans and Isaiah Thomas. And I don't know.
I get maybe like because of the Ainge situation, but that's between Ainge and Isaiah. He never came at the fans.
Maybe that's why, but I don't understand why they're taking it to this extreme. He didn't do anything to Boston.
No, he embraced the city.
Yeah, and he left a heartfelt goodbye. He left a goodbye note. I don't understand like why fans can't embrace him the same way he embraced Boston.
I don't get it, honestly. But I do think I think he's gonna get his payday next offseason. It's not going to be anything major like the Mike Conley, Chris Paul range. He's not going to get that.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I think he can. I think he definitely deserves in the 80ish range.
Yeah, I'd say it'll top out around 100. I can't see him getting
I still
more.
wish he. Yeah. Justice will be served. Mark my words. I thought Orlando would have been the best fit for him, honestly.
You think Orlando?
Orlando, they need a guard.
Yeah, they're letting Aaron Gordon do his thing over there. He looks like LeBron James.
I do like Aaron Gordon. You saw last year he developed that 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're going to get from Evan Fournier.
Yeah, he's a streaky guy.
Yeah, I like him. You got Vucevic, who's a really good big man. An underrated big man, I'll say, too.
Oh, yeah.
Vucevic doesn't get a lot of love. Why is that? Why doesn't Vucevic get a lot of love?
His lack of his lack of athleticism. And he's just goofy. He's like a Mozgov.
True. Well, Tim Duncan wasn't athletic. I'm not saying he's a Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan was one of the most quote-unquote, these are my words, these are your words, NBA fans, boring players in basketball history.
Yeah, but he was a textbook guy. He was textbook. You saw him, you saw him, he was very skilled, and when he was younger, you saw the fire he had. I mean, as he got older,
I think that's a San Antonio thing. That's a San Antonio thing. I think Kawhi isn't the most exciting. He is like what Duncan was. He just does all the fundamentally sound. He's just very fundamentally sound.
He is. Kawhi Leonard definitely is.
I don't know. I guess that's just a product of the Popovich thing, where it's like the little things are actually big things.
I mean, Pop, he makes players. You heard the story about when Tim Duncan first came in. He didn't even know his name.
No.
Shows you the type of coaching you'll get with Popovich. Kind of like Brad Stevens and how he makes players. Popovich makes players as well.
Ooh, now that we brought up Popovich and the Spurs, there were reports that Toronto and San Antonio were talking about a possible DeMar DeRozan Kawhi Leonard switch.
Really?
I like that. I like that. That makes the Eastern Conference a lot more interesting than just Boston and Philly. Because let's be honest, Toronto right now, even though LeBron's not in there, Toronto's not in the mix.
No, definitely not.
Toronto's going to be like a 4 or 5 seed.
They won't do anything. Even if they do, they won't get far. They never do.
They're petrified regardless of, whether LeBron's in the East or not.
Won't change.
So yeah, I like that idea. You're getting a very, very productive player in DeMar DeRozan.
I mean, yeah, DeMar DeRozan, he wants to work hard. He's not even willing to form a super team. So, the guy, he's clearly willing to go to a program like San Antonio and make a name for himself.
But I feel like it would also be a desperation move on Toronto's part because you're not going to get Kawhi back.
They definitely won't get Kawhi. I mean, he doesn't want to be there.
He's not going to stay in Toronto. He's not going to stay in Toronto.
He does not want to be there. It's a one-year deal. It's not worth it.
It's going to be a really interesting... It's weird because the season hasn't even started. Preseason hasn't even started. And already I'm thinking about next offseason. How many guys are going to be on the market?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have Kawhi. You're going to have someone who should have a comeback season. Well, by comeback, I mean... Well, all right, let me just begin. I'm talking about Kevin Love. By comeback season, I mean getting back into his Minnesota form where he was 25 and 12-ish range.
Yep.
Because obviously when you got LeBron with you, you're not stepping foot inside the paint. You're standing outside the entire time if you're K-Love. And that's what we saw. So I think there's an opportunity to see, is that, Minnesota K-Love still within him?
I think it definitely is, and I think we'll see it.
Because this is the lowest his value will ever be.
LeBron's not here.
It could get lower, but it has been.
You'll see K-Love.
I hope so.
I mean, even with LeBron, he was still putting up numbers.
People forget how massively dangerous he was.
Yeah, he was a household name a few years ago.
On the inside. Back in the Rubio, Minnesota days.
I mean, he's outgrown Rubio.
What else isn't? I like Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, complains a lot. Not my cup of tea.
Nah, he did his thing last year in Utah.
I mean, I think he complains a lot, but I did like how he handled himself when Marquise Chris.
I know what you're about to bring up. Yep.
When he was shoved to the ground by him, I like how he handled that.
Yeah, he's one of the big reasons I like that Utah team.
He's probably the leader.
There aren't a lot of flashy guys on that team. Ingles, him. I mean, I guess you could say Gobert's flashy defensively, but that's not a place in basketball that gets the most love. What else? You got Donovan, Grayson Allen, who's probably just going to serve as your three-point shooter, role player type guy. So there's not a lot of flashiness on that team. Grayson Allen could shoot.
Yeah, he's a hothead.
Obviously, we know that, but I'm just talking about what purpose he's going to serve and why they took him.
That's true, but we don't know how well he'll shoot. We know how streaky college shooters are once they get into the NBA.
What do you think? Do you think college should move that 3-point line back?
I think they should. Then we'll see how well these guys can really shoot.
I don't know. I feel I don't know. You tell me what you think about this. Because you see it with college baseball and college football. Dimensions in every area are identical to, the pro level. So why is it basketball, It's not, a drastic thing, but I just don't get why the 3-point line is closer. I feel like it should be farther back because we've seen a lot of 3-point shooters go into the league, and it clearly affects them.
Oh, 100%. You go in.
Doug McDermott, to me, is one of the biggest ones in recent memory.
Yep.
Great shooter at Creighton.
Yeah, he was the leading scorer in the nation. Now look at him.
Yeah, it's Buddy Hield.
Oh my God. He's exactly what they wanted, Trae Young to be.
And I was just about to bring that up. That's what we're going to see with Trae Young. Not saying I'm wishing anything bad upon him, but we're going to see it.
Trae Young is now. They wanted Buddy Hield to be. He was that in college. We'll see how well he does in the NBA. You saw a summer league play. It wasn't spectacular. He breaks 20 points, everyone loses their mind. But Colin Sexton is over here, continuously playing well.
So you're in favor of that 3-point line going back?
Oh, most definitely. You could go into your local high school gym, and it's the same dimensions as a college, gym, and 3-point line.
YMCA rec ball. So let me ask you a question, because this is something that I've been thinking about ever since the day they drafted him. Do you think a year from today, we're going to be talking about Atlanta Hawks taking Trae Young as a big mistake?
There's a possibility. There's definitely a possibility. I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be, an all-star. I can't see him being an all-star in the NBA. Maybe, but, he'll make me eat my words and, big on him, but I really can't see him being anything.
All right, let's make a comparison. Do you think it's going to turn out, and it's still, early, obviously, but I want to talk about it because it's interesting. Do you think it's going to be worse than Philly trading up, passing on Jason Tatum to take Markelle Fultz? Which one do you think we're going to be talking about a year from today as, the one that gets the most attention for being a big mistake?
I would say Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm telling you, he's good. I think he's good. I think he'll have a successful career. By successful, he'll be able to play in the NBA for a long time. But I think he'll just be like a Buddy Hield. He'll be a little better, but definitely not enough.
Yeah, I think the thing that I agree with it, it's going to be the Trae Young one. I think it's because Philly already has a well-established young core that, Markelle Fultz can just do the minimum of passing, and he'd look good. Trae Young is, supposed to be the guy in the future that you build around. That's what you got in that draft.
Mm-hmm.
So if you pass on Luka Doncic, who's going to be more versatile, who's going to be a better defender, and that turns out to be it could look really, really bad for Atlanta a year from now.
Yeah, that's when they'll start pointing the fingers.
Because this was a pretty talented draft.
Yeah, I mean, but Trae Young's only a buck 60 soaking wet. It's maybe not even so. Tough to be like, hey, this is an NBA.
You could have gone safe. You could have gone with Porter. Who else did they pass on? Because Trae Young went 5?
Yeah, he went 5 to the Hawks.
You passed on Sexton. You passed on Bridges. You passed on Bagley. Oh no, Bagley went 4?
Mm-hmm.
But man, you passed on some talent.
That's what we need. They should have went with a safe pick, in my opinion.
What would your pick been?
I picked. I would have went. In my opinion, I think a safe pick would have been Michael Porter Jr.
100% agree with you.
He has a skill. Put on a few pounds of muscle.
He has the size to build his body around.
You can't stack that much
Foundational,
on a guy like Trae
what I
Young.
call the foundational physique. He's got that. You know he can play at an elite level. He's shown us that.
Regardless, he's a scorer. Trae Young is a scorer too, but he doesn't seem
Yeah,
like
but
he'll put on that
people
much.
don't get his they don't take his shot selection into consideration.
Oh my God, the shot selection at Summer League was awful.
It's the thing that bugged me about LaMelo Ball in high school. Like
He just did
the
whatever he
situation
wanted.
where you're like, he dropped 50, but then do you look into the stats? And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is where stats do matter. When you shoot 20 for 45 from 3, you damn well better be putting up over 50 points.
That's like saying Russell Westbrook scored 60-something points and took like 40-something shots.
Exactly. Like,
Impressive.
look at your shooting efficiency. Oh wait, it wasn't efficient.
Yeah, what's his plus minus?
Oh my gosh. I think that's going to be a problem for him early.
Oh, you saw his shots in the summer. You know. I think even Bleacher Report had one notification saying, "Oh, Trae Young thinks this is college or something." And people were saying the same thing. This isn't college, bro.
And I mean,
Like
if you're a guard, the summer league is your time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, big men are so protected with coaching and injuries and precautions. Like, it's a guard. It's not the summer league. It's the guards league. You know.
Right.
That's where those guys, get all the big shots, take over the game, run the offense. That's their time. We saw it with Lonzo Ball last summer league.
Yeah. Exactly. He did whatever he wanted.
It's for wings and guards.
Wasn't he the
Big
MVP?
men, it's just not for big men. Yeah, he was the MVP.
Over 500 points. I mean, he looked real good.
Yeah, it's your league. So, this is where he should be flourishing and putting up numbers night after night. Talking about next year again, going to be a lot of free agents.
Let's see where the
Let's start off with the team everyone wants to see get destroyed, Golden State.
where will Boogie go?
Kevin Durant, Boogie Cousins, and Klay Thompson will all be free agents. You think someone's going?
I think Boogie goes unless if they win, I think he stays. At the end of the day, I think he came to win a championship. He doesn't care what people think about him. He doesn't care what his stats will be. Because if he did, he would stay on his team. He will get that. But he came to Golden State, so you know his numbers are going to go down without a doubt.
Those are three players that the demand is going to be very high. Klay Thompson, you may say he's going to have a very high demand next offseason from several teams.
I think he's out of here. I think
Klay's the one that's out. I think if Golden State wins their third finals, I think KD is also out. I think KD's gonna go at I got my job done here. Now I want to go and I want to do my own thing. So he might entertain. He might. What?
You think KD's gonna stop at 3? I mean, because he's pretty much destroyed his reputation.
No, yeah, it's tarnished as is, but.
So why stop?
Yeah, I think it'll be a situation where he wants to go and start his own thing. I think KD leaves after 3. I could see Boogie staying.
I don't really see why he would.
I could see it if those guys are gone. Because the big thing about Boogie and why a lot of people are going, this is like an overreaction from the standpoint of like what it does to basketball, is like how many shots is Boogie gonna get?
I think he'll get a shot.
I don't think he's gonna get a lot though.
He's
not gonna get more than KD.
He's a hothead. He'll need his shots. I think he'll get more than Klay.
As much as people want to say, it's still Steph's team. Like, you can say KD's gotten the MVPs and he's taking the big shots and this and that, but at the end of the day, that's still Steph's team.
Steph's team, KD's the best player, and now Steph isn't even the second best player. I mean, in my opinion, he's the third. He's behind DeMarcus Cousins.
I put him second just because he's a winner and Boogie's a loser.
Boogie's definitely a loser, but if I'm talking skills here,
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I just don't like Boogie.
I don't like Steph.
I mean, I don't got a problem with. Here's my thing with Steph and Golden State. Well, pre KD, that whole thing happening,
No
I didn't mind. Golden State was a fun team to watch. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They were a very fun team to watch.
Your team.
Because, we can't deny the fact that Steph's the greatest shooter of all time, and we're never going to see a person make the shots that he can make on a day-to-day basis, night after night, to where literally once he steps across half court, you need a guard him.
Anyway.
We're not going to see that. We're not going to see that again. So, I couldn't hate on them during that time. I could root for them in the finals because obviously, being a Celtics guy, I don't want to see LeBron winning. So I had no problem with them. But then the whole KD thing here and this whole facade that, they're throwing on one after the other, that I'm the tough guy, that whole thing. Yeah. But I can see a situation where Boogie stays. Cuz Golden State's going to have some money to pay him.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting we're talking about the scenario where Klay and Kevin Durant leave.
I mean, as long as
so there's going to be money room for him. You'll still be an interesting team to watch. That's a team I could go, you know what? I want to see that team.
I mean, Draymond probably won't go anywhere. His value is in his highest super.
His value is at his highest in Golden State. He's the most productive at Golden State.
Put him anywhere else.
It's not going to be a pretty show.
He can't shoot.
Offensively. Defensively, I still like him defensively.
Yeah, he's an energizer.
He's a premier defender. Who else? It's gonna be a very, very interesting offseason next year. Who else is a free agent? What am I missing? Kyrie's a free agent.
Oh, we forgot Kawhi.
Yeah, what do you think? You think LA's got the clinch on Kawhi?
I think LA definitely has a clinch on Kawhi, and I think the Knicks would definitely get Kyrie. I know you don't like it.
I ultimately... No, I genuinely ultimately believe at the end of the day he's going to stay here. Mm-hmm. But I do also believe he's going to entertain the New York Knicks offer.
Definitely will.
Because you also have Kristaps Porzingis. Mm-hmm. They got Michael Porter Jr. Oh no, my bad. Denver has Michael Porter Jr. What am I saying? Kevin Knox. Yeah. So you've got good young talent around you. I just don't see, like, this isn't even biased. I just don't see why you would go from Boston. Like, you're leaving a perfect situation.
I don't understand you either.
Like, I feel like the situation is too good to leave. Coaching, A+. The young talent coming up, A+. The market, to market yourself. It's Boston. It's the city of champions, A+. Currently, right now, Google it. He is the number one endorsed athlete in Boston right now, as far as what he's getting paid from endorsements.
I want to get inside his head and understand what's going on. Cause
the only thing I understand is the fact that he grew up a Knicks fan. He's a Jersey kid.
That is true.
But even so,
it's his dream.
Yeah. But even so, like in the NBA, how many cases have we seen that really matter? You know.
I mean, we saw
We saw it with D Wade toward like post prime, where it was like D Wade's not going to really be effective. He wasn't really effective in Chicago. You see it with LeBron, but like anywhere LeBron goes, he can build a contending team. I don't get it. So I ultimately think he's going to stay here.
I mean, if anything, like
I think it's just too good to pass up.
He grew up in New Jersey, so I don't. If you wanted to be anything, why not? That. But again, Brooklyn is really part of.
Why would anybody want? I don't think anybody wants to play for the Nets. The Nets is just the place you get traded to, and you're like, oh shit, how'd I get here?
You have to choose. They're both in NYC anyway. In New York, so if anything, why not just go to the Knicks because it's in Manhattan, right near House Kitchen, great location, and around everything, great
like Here's an interesting thought just sprung from my head. What if K Love went to San Antonio?
Oh man, I don't have an idea.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Comeback season, K Love.
He's very receptive.
He's gonna be the number one. He's gonna be the number one option. He comes back next season. He puts up 25 and 10.
Well, what would we do with LaMarcus Aldridge?
Oh, you can. I still think you can play those two.
Does that mean LA has to move to the center?
Who? Yeah. I mean, he played that well in Portland. He essentially played a center role a lot.
Yeah, he did, especially when he was guarding Dwight Howard in that. He could do it. I don't know if he wants to put the toll on him.
I think that could bring San Antonio back and make them interesting again. If you get him in free agency and you trade Kawhi, say at the end of the day, Pop just buys in, he trades Kawhi to LA, and you get Lonzo in there. Say you just get Lonzo.
To San Antonio?
Yeah.
That means you would have to have some sort of trade.
Yeah, the Kawhi trade. You're not going to have Kawhi next season anyway.
That's why I'm saying. I'm saying they should get.
I'm saying you pick up K Love in free agency. Mm-hmm. You ship out Kawhi for like. They're going to ask for a lot. So like Ingram and Lonzo Ball isn't bizarre of a thought in my head. So you get those two. What's your starting lineup there? It's going to be K Love, Lonzo, LaMarcus, Ingram. And who's going to play the 2 guard? What's his face? Why can't I remember his name? Point guard San Antonio.
DeJounte?
No. Jesus, what's his name?
You're not talking about Ginobili. No Parker left.
No, not Ginobili.
No Tony left.
No, I know Tony left. I've said his name a million times. I know I brought it up in this podcast before.
Point guard for San Antonio?
Yeah.
That was DeJounte Murray. He started over Tony Parker.
I don't know. Maybe it was the 2 guard then. What's his name?
Talking about Anderson?
No, Patty Mills.
Okay, the shooter.
Yeah. I think that could be a good starting 5.
Patty's kind of like Isaiah Thomas.
No, yeah, but he's not going to have to do a lot.
People don't notice.
He's not going to have to do a lot, though.
But he's such a liability. A lot of people don't notice if they don't watch the game. Back to San Antonio, they have to trade Kawhi this offseason.
I'm buying into my own scenario. I think that could work.
They have to.
If that's your starting, that would be a pretty exciting starting 5 to watch.
You have to get rid of him. There is really no point in keeping him. You won't get anything for him.
No, they're going to get rid of him.
You have to. Oh.
I feel like no, but here's the way that I feel. Like, I feel if you're Pop and you're holding him till the trade deadline, you're going to get the same offer that you were going to get right now from LA.
Exactly.
You're going to get the same thing. So if anything, as a way to stick it to Kawhi, like, well, you know what? You don't want to play. We're going to hold you till you can play.
Exactly. Just trade him.
You're going to get the same offer. Like, literally, his value isn't going to go higher. You're not going to get any better offers from any team. The offer is going to be the same thing right now that it's going to be at the trade deadline. Come, February?
Offers. I don't know what else. What more could they want?
I don't know if they're getting great necessarily. Maybe like LA, I think is your best one, but there's a situation that you don't want to trade him to where he wants to go. But yeah, I'm gonna save that right there. Caleb comeback season, go to San Antonio.
Trade San Antonio. Why?
They're gonna do.
As a free agent, you will not get anything for
Mm-hmm. Let's move on to a little boxing talk.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, my favorite boxer of all time, Manny Pacquiao, against Lucas Matthysse.
Yep. Did he just break 60?
60 wins, 39 knockouts at age 39.
Easy. Hey, Pacquiao's only
The
31?
best fight. He's 39.
Nah, okay. I was like, what?
The best fight I've seen from Pacquiao, I'd say 2-ish years?
Mm-hmm.
2-ish, 3-ish years. Not to say that he still won the Jeff Horn fight. And to anyone who thinks he didn't, that just shows what you know about boxing. He won that fight and he won it by a landslide. If you don't think he won that fight, go on YouTube right now, type in round 9. That's all you need to see.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that was whew. Oh my gosh. It was so like prime Pacquiao-esque, especially offensively, the way he was countering Lucas's jabs.
He had a couple right hands.
That was one hell of a fight.
Couple right hooks. Right
Made the man
jab.
take a knee in round, I think it was round 5 that he took the knee.
Mm-hmm.
The weirdest thing about it was that was Matthyse's best round as far as getting hits on Pacquiao, because he didn't get a whole lot all night.
Mm-hmm.
The man was swinging at pure air.
Yeah.
But man, that was a fight. And that
He
makes
was dominated the whole fight, so it was just fun to watch. Not really much to see from. I don't know how to say his name too well.
Matthysse, yeah. It's a weird last name.
Not much of a fight from his side. Pacquiao dominated him.
No, the man went down 3 or 4 times. Pacquiao put him down.
The last 2 times he took a knee. On the second knee, he just decided not to get up.
Yeah, he called it. That was, oh my gosh.
I guess he started thinking about his future here.
And he said it himself, He said it the best way anyone could have said after the fight. He said, I lost to a soon-to-be Hall of Fame boxer. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Which I agree with. Say what you want about Pacquiao's age and whatnot. His work ethic, you can't argue his work ethic. You can't debate that.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Oh.
And he said it before the fight. You're going to see a different Pacquiao. You're going to see a new, rejuvenated, revived Pacquiao.
Yeah. And all of the fights Pacquiao loses, he just doesn't look the same.
This one was wow. Wow. I wouldn't mind if that was his last fight. It wouldn't bug me.
Really? I mean, he's not that old. So,
the man's fought 69 times already.
That is true.
He's got nothing to prove. He's already a Hall of Fame fighter.
Yeah. I mean, money's not a problem with him either, so.
If you're an athlete, isn't that what you want to do? You want that, like, your curtain call to be, one of your best years?
Yeah, and that was one of the best.
Well, I mean, comparing it to, like, sports and, like, the major sports where your season. In Pacquiao's case, it's a fight. Don't you want your curtain call to be that? David Ortiz's last season in Boston was incredible. 2016 with the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. You're talking about, man, this guy could play another 2 years. Genuinely. I still think he could play now.
Hall of Famers typically, they give you that type of feeling.
Imagine Tom Brady retires today. There's going to be a riot in downtown Boston.
Oh, my God. You know Brady. Especially at the quarterback, as long as he has protection, the man can throw it for them.
Jeez Christ. Like, the man won an MVP at 40.
Exactly. I mean,
he's not showing any sign of decline whatsoever.
Giselle allows him to. He'll still be able to play.
I feel like that's one thing that kind of scares me with athletes. Is like, I love you so much that I just don't want to see you look bad as you leave.
Well, definitely. Kobe Bryant, his departure was...
It was pretty rough.
Yeah. Other than his 60-point game, his last 60-point game, he did not play well. His last season was not a good season.
I feel Kobe, toward the end, still thought he was rookie Kobe.
Oh, yeah. That's because that's the type of mentality he's always had.
Which I get and I can respect. But, man, how many shots did he have to put up to get to that? What did he score his final game? It was like 60-something?
It might have been
60 or 70, something like that. Did you see the shooting percentage of that game?
I know he took a lot of shots.
They were coming off the court, inbounding the ball. It was right in his hands.
Yeah. They knew he took every
right
shot.
In his hands. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind if Pacquiao retired after this one. That was a great fight. He gave everything. He delivered what he promised. Mm-hmm. One thing that bugs me, although, the biggest thing that bugged me last night is, what the hell is ESPN Plus? I'm sorry. You see, I flip the channel, right? I go to ESPN, and you know how they do, like, the amateur fights before the real big one? You're tuning in, you're watching those, and then all I hear is, all right, we're getting ready for Pacquiao, Matthysse. Tune in. Come catch us at ESPN Plus. What kind of bullcrap is that? This whole week, you've been promoting a free fight, and then I find out that I need to subscribe and pay $5 a month to... What the hell is ESPN Plus? What is that garbage?
Oh, you're not... So how exactly
no. I don't know what you're gonna ask, but no. How did I watch it? We can talk about that after the podcast. I don't need to disclose that information.
There we go.
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Someone needs to get Verizon files. Tell me exactly what Gio's doing.
Don't do that. But here's okay, on a serious note, boxing takes a hit. They're taking a hit in audience because of, for one, what the hell they do with the judges and how they rule these damn fights.
Yeah, boxing is rough. Real rough.
So I love Pacquiao, but I shouldn't have to pay to watch him at this stage in his career.
No, definitely not.
This is the kind of crap that boxing pulls. This is why UFC is taking over. And I hate UFC. I can't watch that.
It's really just a shit show.
Yeah, UFC is WWE.
Oh my! The amount of the fake tough guys.
Oh my
Conor
goodness.
McGregor yelling at a bunch of guys who clearly have never seen any type of adversity in high school, middle school.
That's the one. Okay, so I'm not a Mayweather fan at all, but that's the one thing that bugged me was his last fight.
Oh, with McGregor?
Does that, like, from a standpoint, you being a Mayweather fan, doesn't that kind of bug you that number 50 came against that?
Yeah, I've watched
McGregor.
pretty much every Mayweather fight in existence. We're just talking about, how he boxed, literally how he boxed, like the technicals. He did not box. It was like he reverted to a day and age where he was like.
Do you feel like there's an asterisk next to his number 50?
It definitely wasn't a true win. You fought a guy who, was his first boxing.
Not because I'm not saying had he fought Triple G or X, Y, and Z, like he wouldn't get number 50. I'm just saying, like,
that's not the way.
That's a big milestone. You don't want to do it there. It's kind of like the situation where, say, Peyton Manning is, getting X number touchdown, reaching this career milestone, but it took him like 10 plus games to do it. You know what I mean? And you had to put your team in danger to where you sucked.
Yeah, just like a D1 team playing against a D2 team.
Yeah, I remember Tim Wakefield, pitcher for the Red Sox. I forgot what strikeout or what win or whatever the hell he was getting, and it took him like forever to do it. And it was like, dude, you're gonna retire. Just do it so you can get out of here. It was like 5 years ago or something. I don't remember, but yeah, it's just I didn't like that fight.
It wasn't a good fight.
That my biggest piece of garbage. Why are people? The fact that people bought into it too, because I don't care what anybody says. That was an act.
The amount of money
McGregor knew they played people like a fiddle.
An absurd amount of money.
It was the biggest scam of the 20th century, of the 21st century.
I mean, you go into the match knowing that Mayweather will win, and you still have McGregor's fans actually chanting at the event.
The fact that people bought in that McGregor had the slightest of chances disappointed me.
They have to understand, this isn't, going to the octagon here.
How much have we failed as a society?
I really just don't know where these guys come off thinking the UFC is done.
No, it's not. It's the situation. You say it both ways. Mayweather would get killed in his sport. McGregor got killed in Mayweather's.
McGregor isn't an ultimate fighter, but he cannot come into a boxing ring.
Do people realize that Mayweather held back? Like, Mayweather carried McGregor throughout that fight.
Imagine if he actually actively tried to outbox him. Imagine how bad that would have been.
Yeah, I don't think Mayweather's had a knockout since I was like a toddler in diapers.
Exactly.
So if I could compile all the money I've ever had in my life and put it towards something, I'd bet that if Mayweather tried, he could have knocked him out.
No way. McGregor would never knock out Mayweather. Even if you saw how Mayweather wasn't trying,
there were so many penalties too.
Yeah, exactly.
So many penalties that McGregor got away with. The freaking Buzz Lightyear style chopping, yes. Jackie Chan, Karate Kid, whatever the hell that was.
The rabbit punches back of the head.
What the hell was that?
Oh my God! I don't even know. It was wrestling him, and the referee let it go on for way too long. The hugging, it was like. He said he was training and learning how to box, but was he really? When you saw the fight, did you really think, hey, this is a guy who's religiously studying the game? Definitely not. No. Definitely not. He didn't know what he was doing. I could get an amateur boxer from one of the circuits down in New Jersey, and I'm telling you they could do that. It was awful.
Yeah, the fact that people bought into that to this day, my God, what were you thinking? Anyways, you got any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Nothing. It's been a great time talking about Pacquaio.
All right. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at SportsGuyGio. Follow us on Twitter at SViewsPodcast on Twitter. And tune in for episode 4 coming soon. Thank you for listening.